Hey guys, it's Mr. Cody24 coming at you with another video. Today, we're gonna go for a ride. Let's go. It's freezing fucking cold out. Not really, it's 52 I think when I asked. Well, I can look. It's 48 degrees right now. I'm outside, it's 48 degrees, it's 6:55 p.m. Oop, there's deers. Stupid deer. It's freaking beautiful out though. I mean, honestly, for 48 degrees, I'm wearing a sweatshirt and a leather jacket. I'm pretty comfortable, actually. I was going to get out earlier, but I wanted to try this. I got too excited. I was sick of waiting around the house. So I'm going for a little bit of a ride. Hell, and I got the GoPro Hero 10 on me with 4K at Super View, so it should be pretty good. It should be crystal clear video, other than the damn windshield there, but, you know. It does prevent some extra wind, so it'll be kind of nice. I'm not driving a sports bike or anything, so y'all will have to tell me what you think of how it looks. When I last went on my vacation on this thing down to Sturgis in August of 2020, or yeah, it was 2020 during COVID and all that, I was having some carb issues. I'm hoping I don't have to rebuild the carbs and do all that shit, but hopefully. I was gonna pull out, but I don't want to get rear-ended by this guy because my bike might act up on me. She's been running good, but hard to tell, you know. Ooh, that feels good. Alright, I can cruise at 65, 70 easily, no fucking backfiring. Oh my god. I'm doing my thing. It works. This wind is horrendous though. Get me back behind trees, quick. Basically, I've been dealing with carb issues for a year, and then the other year I had a blown rear tire and I just haven't had the funds to replace that tire, so I haven't been able to ride this thing in 2 years. That and the one summer I had my dirt bike up and going and was doing all that stuff with friends and stuff, so I was very much overwhelmed with the dirt bike. Didn't have time to, you know, fix this baby up. I gotta get a new tank bag too. This thing's 4 years old. Good thing for like 20 bucks, I couldn't complain. What the hell are they doing here? They gutted this whole place. Oh, that'd be so cool to fly my drone. Dude, I gotta figure out who owns that. That'd be so fun. I also just bent my highway bar leaving my garage, so that was cool. I'm gonna have to get a new one of those. Yay. I'll probably take them off. They look good, but no, not worth it. Alright, which way do we want to go? Front, forward, left, right, middle? I want to go forward? No, I want to go right. I'm gonna go right. I'm going right. Ooh, the fire. Ah, that cold air just went down my coat. I hate it. I hate it so much. She's doing what she's supposed to do, and she's pretty good to me for having 36,600 miles on her. This 1995 Honda Shadow 1100 VTC has been treating me really, really, really nice. Even when it was having problems through my whole vacation, it was dumping fuel, and the car was just, it was stuck open and just dumping and dumping and dumping, and you wouldn't fucking believe it. This thing never stopped running. It broke down on me in Sturgis for 5 minutes, got it restarted, drove that thing around the whole day in Sturgis without an issue. Mind you, it's the middle of August. Well, it's actually, no, it was July, I'm sorry, it was July, not August. So it was July, because Sturgis is in August, like the event, but I was in the town July 21st, I think it was that week. Anyway, it was like a couple weekends or a weekend before Sturgis. And we're driving down the interstate to Sturgis, and this bike cannot go past 80 miles an hour. No matter how hard I try, I'm full fucking throttle. I mean, I'm full throttle and I'm gunning it. And it will not go past 80, like at all, top gear. And this bike will do 110, 115 easily. I've had it there before. But my carbs are acting up. Well, at least one carb was. It was stuck. And I could not, for the frickin' life of me, get it to unstick, no matter how many throttle blips I gave it, or smack the carbs, or anything like that. Nothing. It wouldn't work. And so we get downtown Sturgis. It's me and my buddy. His name's Benji. We get downtown Sturgis. We're sitting at the stoplight. We can go right. We can go left. We're sitting at the stoplights. We're trying to decide where to go. We just want to see the town and then get the hell out, go get our campground, and then we can go for a ride again once we get the tents all set up and everything. Now, mind you, my buddy doesn't have his motorcycle license yet, so he's riding on the back of my bike. So we're, you know, two guys, two up on a bike. I do have a backrest. I think I can show it. Yeah, see? Backrest. And so we're separated. It's not weird or anything. We got our comm units on. We're talking and stop at the stoplights, and the bike just goes and dies. Now we're sitting there and we're like, oh shit. So I'm like trying to get it to start, and it won't start, and it won't start. So we push it into the gas station that's right next to the place, and we're sitting there and we're like, what the fuck? Well, somehow, some way, this frickin' bike, it pops off and starts again. But now I can only go 35. So now I'm going around to each of the motorcycle dealerships in Sturgis, and I'm going, hey, I know it's like a week before or 2 weeks before your big event down here, and mind you, it's busy as hell already. There's bikes everywhere, there's people everywhere, but it's not like Sturgis busy. It's just a week before. And so we're going around, and we're going around to all these frickin' places. Not a single person has time for us to get service. So we're sitting there with a broken down bike, downtown Sturgis. Mind you, we're like 10 minutes, 25 minutes away from our campground in Spearfish that we haven't even gotten set up yet, and we want to get there before, you know, nighttime. We're there at we're in town at like 2 o'clock. So we're kind of freaking out. We're like, shit, we gotta fucking go. And we're like putting at 35 miles an hour all the way to Spearfish. But as we're leaving town, I see one more dealership, and I stop there and I'm like, hey, any way I can get a 25 millimeter wrench, or I think it was 25 millimeter wrench, any way I can get the wrench from one of your mechanics just to take the seat off so I can try to work on the carbs and get it fixed so I can, you know, get to where I need to go without having to call someone and drive all the way from Wisconsin to South Dakota to pick my ass up with my broken ass motorcycle. Now, mind you, the dealer there, he's like, all right, yeah, I'll go ask one of my mechanics. He comes out and he's like, all right, here you go. I'm like, ah, shit, okay, well, I got the wrong size, I'm sorry. Sent it back. He brought out the right size. I start taking the seat off, and he's like, well, I got a really good deal for you. I'll sell you that Yamaha, whatever the hell it was. I don't even know. It was a blue bike. He's like, oh, I'll sell this to you if you trade this bike to me, and you give me like $100, and I'll trade you that bike for this. And then you guys can go about your day and get home. And I was like, you know, maybe. I was like, shit, this bike, I love this bike. It's a 1995 Honda Shadow. I was born in 95. The key says A13 on it. Don't know if that means anything, but to me it means something because my birthday's August 13th. So I was like, this bike is meant for me, you know? Some mystical stuff. But yeah, we get down and we're dealing with this guy, and then the mechanic like comes out and he's like, hey, I hear you're having problems with it. Let me see the bike. Let me hear it run. Start the bike, and mind you, this dude's an Indian mechanic. Like, I'm sure he's a fantastic mechanic. He's an Indian mechanic. This is a Honda. I'm sure they're, I mean, same principles, but yeah. Anyway, he starts his bike for 2 seconds, and he hears it idle, and he goes, oh yeah, your float's stuck on the right hand carb. And I was like, what? How the fuck do you know? He's like, oh, it's the way it idles. He's like, I tell you what, come to my house after work and I'll work on it and we'll get you sorted out. And I was like, no friggin' way. Okay, cool, thanks. He gives me his number, he gives me all this. He goes, text me at like 6 o'clock and let me know, and I'll give you my address. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we put this thing at 35 miles an hour all the way to the campground. And yes, I've tried fuel additives and, you know, gum out and all that shit in this thing, and it wasn't working at all for it. So I'm like, all right, get to the campsite, set up our tent. 6 o'clock rolls around. I text him, no response, and I'm like, shit, he's gonna blow me off, and he just wanted me out of his hair at the place. I was so freaking nervous. I was like, great, now I have a broken bike and it won't work, and I'm stuck here, and like, we're gonna have to freaking call my parents or something to come get me with the U-Haul or some shit. I was like, great, fantastic. And I planned this thing out for like 2 months, 3 months, and I had bought all the gear and shit. Even took the bike in for service at the beginning of that summer because I knew I wanted to do this road trip in the summer, and I had the carbs rebuilt. Well, whoever rebuilt my carbs had it working good for me for about a month. And then it started acting up, and then I went on this trip and I was like, all right, I can go 90, 100 miles an hour still, no problems. Get on the interstate, it breaks down, starts acting up, goes 80 the whole way. Get to pick up my buddy. He lives in Minnesota. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, Minnesota. And I'm like, shit, okay, well, I can pick him up, no big deal. Get him all sorted out, and it breaks down on me, and we're in that same position that I mentioned. And so yeah, back to Sturgis. The guys, we're out walking a nature trail because we're like, fuck, we got nothing to do. This campground's like right on a nature trail. And so we're like, okay, well, this guy's not gonna message us back. Maybe we can, you know, find a Honda dealership nearby, whatever. So I'm on my phone looking while we're walking around in the woods and hanging out and taking this really nice nature trail with this really, really pretty spring. I wish I'd have taken more photos with it. But so it's like 7 o'clock and the dude finally texts me back and he's like, hey, this is my address. Meet me up here at like 7:30. Sorry it took so long. I'm just getting off work. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. This dude's gonna save my ass. I don't care what it costs. Let's go. So we get up, we go, and we're heading down there. And as I hit the stoplights in Spearfish, there's like a long road from the campground we were at. And at the very end of that road, there's a set of stoplights, and then you can go straight, and it goes towards the town of Rapid City, which he lived on like the borderline of. And so we're going 35. So we're doing this. And the bike's sputtering and popping, and we're struggling, and it's going up and down hills, and we're like, come on, go faster, you know, kind of thing. And I don't know what happened, but at the stoplight, the bike starts running perfectly fine. Like, and I mean like it is now, where I can gun it, and it will go, and 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 go, you know? So we get going nice and fast, and we're cruising. We're cruising. And we get to the dude's house, and I'm like, yeah, suddenly it started acting like my normal bike again. I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, that's going to be a really nice ranch-style house. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but it's working now. And he's like, okay, well, I'll take it apart and clean it still. We'll check it out. So we're getting the whole bike apart in his garage, mind you. The tank's got to come off. The seat's got to come off. The air filter's coming out. The carbs are taken out. And I got the carbs laying on his bench. And he's doing all the damn work. I'm just sitting there talking to him because he's the professional. He knows what he's doing. And I did quotations, but I didn't mean it. His name was James. He's one of the coolest freaking guys I've ever talked to. He straight helped me out in a situation where I was screwed. Oh, I'm in high gear still. I thought I shifted it. So fucking, we're in his garage and he's getting this whole thing torn apart and built up, and we're doing this whole thing. And he's like, yeah, I have some jets. This thing's been jetted out because you had a not stock exhaust on there before. And I'm like, holy shit, how'd you know? When I bought this thing, it had drag pipes on it, so it sounded like a fucking drag car anytime I took off. And you could hear it echo from all the way, like down in the woods, way fucking far away. And I'm like, what the shit? So I ended up buying a stock exhaust after being pulled over and all that shit. Well, I didn't know the carbs were jetted, which they still are. But anyway, so I didn't know the carbs were jetted, and he's like, yeah, I have some carbs here, or some jets that I can give you that should be the same size, blah, 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 blah. This will work out for you, especially because you're in a higher elevation. And I'm like, all right, cool. So he's trying to find the other jet, and he can't find it. He's like, well, shit, I can't help you with that, but I'll clean this one out the best I can. So he's scrubbing my shit and scrubbing it and scrubbing it. And he's like, hey, man, you guys want some food or anything? Like pizza or some shit? And he sends his friend to the gas station, and he gets us all drinks without even us asking for him or anything. He's just like, here, this is what, you know, some Gatorade or whatever. I was like, hell yeah, thanks. So we decide, fuck it, we're gonna order a pizza. Me and Benji, we chipped in, ordered a pizza, spent like 30 bucks, got it delivered to the dude's house. And we ate pizza with this guy, and he's talking to us. He comes out, and I'll post a picture of it if I can find them. But I have poker chips from each year of Sturgis' event that he gave me. He was like 2020 and 2018, 2019 chips. He's like, here, I got a ton of these, just here. So I got some Sturgis poker chips from that whole thing. And he's fixing my bike, and he's like, all right, you guys should be good to go. The bike runs good. I'm like, awesome, hell yeah. Now, mind you, he's the kind of dude who's got like bobbers torn apart in the back of his garage, and he's fixing bikes, and he's got like 4 bikes in his garage. He doesn't own a car, I don't think, but he has to own a car. But his car wasn't anywhere near his garage, I don't think. But anyway, he gets the bike all put back together, and next thing I know, he's like, "Nah, don't worry about it. It's free. It's about paying the respects of paying forward." And this is the reason that I love riding motorcycles, because there's a connection to everybody. Now, mind you, there are some exceptions where people are just jackasses for no reason. But he was one of the good guys. Him and his buddy, Cosmo. His buddy was Cosmo. So I had James and Cosmo. Coolest guys in the frickin' world. They were a part of a club. They did some riding. And they were like true riders. Like they really, really cared, kind of thing. And they're like, just pay it forward, man. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go silent. And so he's like, pay it forward. And I'm like, okay, well, still take this money. And he's like, oh, no. I didn't do anything. And I'm like, dude, you just spent 2 hours cleaning my bike and saving my vacation from being ruined. Mind you, this is like day 3, or no, day 2 of the vacation. That's right, get out of here. Mind you, it's day 2 of my vacation, and he saved it. And now I don't have to go home and tuck my tail between my legs. I can go camping for the rest of my 2 weeks and enjoy my vacation. And then he put the bike all back together for me. The dude was amazing. If he's watching this, his name's James, he's in South Dakota, I think by Rapid City. You're a fucking hero. You work at the Indian dealership. I lost your contact number when I got a new phone. You probably don't even care, but you still have a story that is being told every year, because it restored my faith in humanity. And I met a guy from New York that was at the Indian dealership getting his bike serviced for Sturgis, and he was cool as shit too, but he just told me a cool story and was relating to my bike problems and telling me that people are amazing and shit. And my 2 weeks down in South Dakota were amazing. The bike ran. I mean, it still could only go 80 miles an hour, but I don't really need to go 80 when it's like 45 and I'm cruising on the back roads and I'm going to see the, you know, monument and all that stuff. And it was just amazing. And if you guys are interested, I'll tell you more stories about that. Just that event and the whole thing happened kind of restored my faith in humanity and made me see the brighter side of people. I really need to shift. I'm so cold, my hand's barely working. I'm like, ugh. Back in my day, my joints were faster. Ugh. See, I want a house like that, minus the dirt driveway. I fucking hate dirt driveways. My current driveway is partially gravel and sand. It sucks. That would be cool. Oh, hey, we're turning. Anyway, we're coming into the historical town of Oxford, Wisconsin. Population of I don't know. It's a beautiful little town though. And it's getting dark. All the lights are coming on. It's 7:20. We got sunset in exactly 10 minutes. Okay, 13 minutes, but still. And yeah. This is a beautiful area though. Especially in the summer when all the trees actually have leaves on them. Yeah. Look at that creek, beautiful waters. Oxford Street. It's a little cliche that the town has a town named after itself, or a street named after itself, but whatever, I'm sure, you know, Milwaukee has a Milwaukee Street, I'm sure, even though that's, you know, not very creative. This is a sleepy little town of Oxford. It's literally a 2-lane, or no, it's a 1-lane road going down the street, and okay, it's a 2-lane road technically if you're counting both lanes, but yeah, it's a nice sleepy little town of Oxford. Oh man, that tree is actually cool even though it's just branches are cut off. I'm just trying to test this GoPro out, but hopefully that story was interesting. A little rant. random, a little off subject. I have ADHD undiagnosed. It bounces around quite a bit. So my brain is like over here, then over here, and then I remember something and I have to go back in the story like I did earlier. So if it didn't make sense, I'm sorry. I'll try to make the best out of it, out of the edit when I edit the footage. Hopefully the audio works and there's no popping, crackling, or crap sounds, but I think it'll be alright. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.